Hi, I'm Sarah, and today I will be teaching you how to play the print and play game Quiltable Paper Quilts, designed by Jared Richardson and published by Circle J Games. Here we go. To play Quiltable Paper Quilts, you will first want to print off a rule sheet and then one player sheet per player. You will also need 2 dice and a writing utensil per player. To play Quiltable Paper Quilts, you first need to assign an icon that you will use for each of the quilt patterns. There is a pumpkin, a sunflower, a leaf, a corn cob, a piece of pie, and an acorn. I am obviously by no means an artist, but you just want to make sure that this is recognizable when you are putting it onto your pattern area and not confused with any of the other shapes. Now that you have your patterns, your quilt blocks, I should say, chosen, you are ready to play. You are going to roll the dice. One player each turn rolls the dice. And then you are going to use these 2 dice numbers to take up to 2 actions during your turn, 1 for each die. Your first option is to use these to choose a scoring condition. For example, if I roll a 1 and a 6, I can then use that to mark off in the 1 area the 6 pattern. That would be corn, leaf, leaf, corn. And every time that happened in my finished quilt, I would score 6 points. Instead, mark the 6 section the 1 area. That is a corn cob and a leaf, and that will score you 2 points every time that happens on your finished quilt. If you are choosing to mark a scoring condition, you may only take 1 action because that uses both of your dice. However, if you choose to do either of the other 2 actions, you may do 2 actions, 1 for each die. For example, I might choose to draw an acorn and a pumpkin onto my pattern area because I rolled a 6 and a 1. If I have pattern areas that are ready to be transferred to my quilt for their final scoring area, I could, with this die, transfer 6 squares from my pattern area onto my quilt, or with this die, only 1 square. Once you have completed rows and columns on your final pattern area, or your final quilt area, I should say, you can score extra beeline bonuses. These are things that can allow you to mark extra squares off to finish your quilt, get you a wild square, allow you to mark extra areas on your scoring conditions area, or mitigate some dice rolls. They may only be used once per game, and you will circle them when you have used them. Play continues until somebody has finished their quilt, filling in all 8 blocks. That person will get 5 points for triggering the end. Play then continues, and each player gets an additional turn. Players who have managed to complete their quilt will score 5 points. If you have a symmetrical quilt, you will get 10 extra points. And then you tally up any scoring conditions that you were able to mark and make, and then you see how many points you have. The player with the most points at the end wins. This has been How to Play Quiltable Paper Quilts. Quiltable will be coming to Kickstarter soon. Be sure to check the link in the description for your chance to back the Kickstarter. For more board gaming content, please subscribe to Let's Table It. To follow our family's day-to-day gaming adventures, make sure you're following us on Instagram at Sarah Always Loses. Thanks for watching.